Amen. It's not who we think that God will work through. Just to talk about some persons in the Bible, at times we think that we have this thing. We it's like, oh, God is gonna work through this person. God is gonna work through that person, through this city, through that situation. But at times, it is not who we think God will work through that He will be using. And in the we have some comparisons to make. Joseph, his brothers Moses, Joshua, Rachel, Leah. Uh, it's there. We have Mary and Martha. Um, just to talk about these in depth, I'll start with Moses and Joshua. And in Numbers chapter 13, 1 to 16, the story is there. According to the Hebrew Bible, uh, Joshua was one of the 12 spies of Israel sent by Moses to explore the land of Canaan, the promised land. Um, uh, uh, and after the death of Moses, right, he is the one who led the tribe in the conquest of Canaan, right? And he's the one who allocated. So I mean, Moses was there, and Moses, God, as we know, God sent Moses for his people from Pharaoh. And yes, going by the helm, everyone, oh, Moses, this is a guy who's gonna get us through. We are following Moses, going. But Joshua, his assistant, his armor bearer, who Moses, of course, had taught very well, has taught him how to lead, how to rule. And so uh, Moses died before they could have crossed over. But the mantle, the mission was handed over to Joshua, and Joshua is who got the people over on the other side. If those people were so like sold out, I would say, to Moses and not to God, then they would have probably buried themselves with Moses, or they would have buried themselves there in terms of their progress. And but then the idea, the eye was upon Christ, and God. The idea was to follow this commandment of God. And so in following them, Joshua was who it was given the charge to lead the children of Israel. I mean, we have Jacob and Esau. In the Bible, I think that's in Genesis 27, there about 34, it start to 40. I made a note. The story tells us where Jacob, Rebecca, had came up with this plan to let Isaac bless Jacob instead of Esau. And being in the plan of God, uh, according to history and how it should be, Esau, being the elder brother, is the one who needs to get that blessing which Jacob have gotten, which is to be the father of these nations. But Isaac, he could not see very well, and so Jacob, being the trickster that he is, um, he went and he got this blessing. When Esau came and realized what is happening, he begged, he bewailed, he pleaded with his father to give him and to take back the blessing, but it cannot be taken back. It cannot be taken back. From God bless you, you are blessed. Nobody can open a door that God shut, and nobody can shut a door that God opened. We've just got to say, Lord, get us ready at the time so that when any time a door is open, it's in the will of God. And whenever time a door is shut, it's also in the will of God. Let us be steadfast and make no move, walk through no door, or or stand still at no closed door unless the power of God is there and is organizing the move. And so this is what happened. Esau was given a lesser blessing, yes, to do this, this carry out his life, right? He was given an inferior blessing, But Jacob went on and did according to the blessing of his father. And as I say, we would have thought, who is the move? Who will this move be made to? We go down and we have I think Leah, Rachel and Leah, two sisters. Again, Leah, of course, Leah was the eldest, right? And so according again, um, the elder sister have to get married, right, before anyone else. But Rachel was seen one day by Jacob when he, he he was he was there in the field when she was tending to her master's crop, and he got fascinated. Anyway, he worked went on Joshua's farm and work 7 years, but then he had to work another 7 years because then it is the first daughter have to be wed. So what happened is that he end up marrying these two um women, and of course Leah is described in the Hebrew Bible as the daughter of Lebanon of Laban. Sorry, of course. I said Jethro. Um, she and her younger sister Rachel, right? So um, the thing is that we would have thought that Rachel, oh here, Jacob, he loved Rachel so much, that this is it, Rachel, the one. But do you know little that it is through Leah, Leah, right, who had this child, right? Six of them, and one of them, Judah, who is the ancestor of David. So Leah is actually the great grandmother, the great great grandmother of Jesus. And so it's not who you think God is gonna work through, right? We have we have if you look at another one, we have Joseph. Joseph and his brothers. They're elder brothers. Of course, he had a younger, but the elder one would think that it's through them that God is gonna work through until the dream came, the dreamer, and then things got AY. David and his brothers, even his father, would have presented these chaplain young men to be king. But the spirit was not settled inside Samuel, and he had to ask, "Is there another? This can't be right. Is another?" And they sent for the ragged-haired shepherd in the field. Smell of goat and smell of um, wolf and all those people fighting off bear. And so it is not whom we think. See, it's David whom this movement took place through. I'm telling you this: no matter what, whether you be high, whether you be low, whether you be narrow or whether you be wide, there is a move of God that takes place that we have to be spiritually discerned, because it will seem to our temporal knowledge who and what God will work through. Even, I mean, I hear it's quoted, I don't know if Jesus had referred to himself in truth and in fact as the second Adam, because the fact is that he's the first Adam. And so it would have seems like Adam, like things gonna flow and work through Adam and thing, but it's not whom, it's through Jesus. They were looking for a big mighty king coming to born in the palace, to born into the king's family, but they were looking on temporal knowledge. They were not spiritually connected to know that this king is going to be of divine authority. This king is going to be of divine sonship. And so It's not who we think that God will work through. You may be ostracized, you may be put aside, you may be ridiculed, you may be isolated, but do not be dismayed because it is not who they think, it is who God works through. And as I encourage myself and I encourage whoever will hear this clip, stay focused and remain with God. He's worthy to be praised. Blessings and honor.